Hey there, Chrissy here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this card, and I am creating it for landscaping challenges. So I'm using this brand new set from Lawn Fawn. It just came out and it's called Lovable Legends. And I'm also going to use a super cute coordinating die cut for it as well. But first things first, I went ahead and I inked up that cute little giant squid using some distress ink on some watercolor paper. And what I did is a technique called stamping off. So you can see I stamped it multiple times. So what I did is I stamped it once, and then the second time it was a lighter impression. I'm going to use that lighter impression. I didn't want the darker one, even though I'm using distress ink, and I used pumice stone, I believe, for my distress ink. Even though it would blend with water, just the lighter version, it's going to be less noticeable. That way I don't have to worry about getting too much water on there. So I wanted to do the stamping off technique. So, and I should also mention, by the way, this is sped up. I don't really go this fast. So then I grabbed my Spectrum Aquas. These are watercolor markers, and I have to say I absolutely positively love them. I am so lucky to be able to work with any Spectrum Noir product, and these by far are my favorite. I love the markers, I love the pencils, I love everything about Spectrum Noir, but I adore these markers. They're my thing. So the way that I have found that works for me the best, and it may not work the best for you, figure out your own way of using them, is I scribble it onto an acrylic block, and then I just use a water brush and I kind of pick up the color. This just kind of works better for me because I feel like maybe I'm coloring and not necessarily painting. So I have a few really nice paint brushes, but most of them are kind of like not the best quality. So I don't think that I get exactly what I'm looking for when I use brushes. So I have to invest in some better brushes. But until then, I'm going to keep using my water brush because I love it. So I used some slate and some charcoal, and you can see I just added some shadows and stuff like that. I first, just did like the light color, and then I came back and did the shadows. So now I'm going to use that coordinating die cut. It's called a lawn cut that I mentioned, and I'm going to place it down in there, and I die cut it. And you saw I secured it in place with some washi tape. That's just so it doesn't move. That was a lot of hard work coloring that in, so I didn't want to screw it up or anything because I have, trust me. So anyway, the washi tape just holds it in place. So then I decided I was going to die cut out of white because I kind of wanted it to be, I'm inspired by the Splash of Color challenge. So I wanted everything to be kind of like white and subtle. So I used the Ocean Wave die cut. And I just did it in white, and I just adhered it down. And you can see I have that little rubber square. This thing's pretty cool because it will remove extra adhesive for you if you accidentally screw up and put too much on there, which I like to do sometimes. So I usually keep that handy. I use it mainly for masking because it'll pull off if you use any type of like liquid masking fluid. After it dries, it's easier and cleaner than using your finger. But then I realized, oh hey, it pulls up rubber cement and any other things that are sticky. So it's pretty cool. So I also die cut the cheers out of white because, like I said, just a pop of color here. We're not going to add too much. And that's also why I colored the squid in grays and not a different color. So when I die cut that cheers, I actually die cut it out of the Deco Foil foam adhesive. This is made to work with foil. So it's sticky on the front and it's sticky on the back. And it's foam, so it's like using your foam adhesive. And I have no problems die cutting it or anything like that. I have found though, because it's so sticky, which is great, but when I'm using a more intricate die or a die that can easily move, it's easier for me if I put it down on my project first and then foil it. Otherwise, it kind of starts bending apart and then the foil cracks a little bit. So that's just my little recommendation. That's my pop of color, by the way. I use the iCraft Rainbow Foil, the Deco Foil. So cool, right? There's my pop of color. Looks pretty awesome. So, and then I just stamped the You're a Legend on there. So you can see, pretty plain, pretty simple, not a lot of color, just that one pop up there. And then I just went ahead and I added some foam adhesive to the back of this guy. Just using little adhesive squares. And I put a lot on. I hate it when my die cuts buckle like in the middle. So I always probably use more foam adhesive than I should, but you know, I want it to pop up and look pretty cool. So after I did this, I just decided I needed something else, but I didn't want something that would take away from anything that was already on the card. So I just grabbed a few sequins. They aren't noticeable. They're like an iridescent color. They're from Craft Medley. I think it's like the black and white collection it's called. Black and white classic sequins. So these are the, I guess, white part of the sequins, but they're not actually white. They're just this pretty kind of iridescent color. So when you're first looking at it, it just kind of looks plain, but then when the light hits it, it kind of reflects. So I add my sequins with tweezers normally. I just drop some glue on a scrap piece of paper, and then I dip them in using tweezers, only because I'm out of some of my other stuff. So that's what I've been doing recently. But you can kind of see the color there. So there's my card. I hope you'll play along with us at Lawnscaping. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Bye-bye.